Okay, today's video I'm going to make you a beef pot pie, and I'm going to use leftovers from a pot roast that I cooked in the crock pot the other day. So let's see what we've got here. I have leftover. Let's check this out. This is a leftover pot roast that I'm going to dice up here, and leftover carrots, potatoes, and onions. Alright, so I'm going to turn the oven on. We'll bake that up at 425. Get that cooking. And then this leftover roast beef, I'm not really going to measure this, it's just how much we had left over. It's just a bit plump. I'm going to dice that up first. Okay, there we have that. And just out of curiosity, let's see how much we have here. Let me turn the light on. We'll do, looks like about a couple of cups. So there's 1 cup. Yeah. We'll dump that in here. And good to know. You could probably do up to 4 cups, but we only had 2 cups, so that's what we're going to do. Alright, now we have all these vegetables, potatoes, onions, and carrots, so we'll just dice that up a little bit, and then we'll add those to it. So we'll just get those cut up a little bit, right? There we go. Now let's just see how much we have here. We'll just use this measuring cup here. There's about 4 cups.
Looks like we have like about 2 more cups after that.
I bet it's gonna be 4.
Maybe.
Let's see. That's about 2.5 cups. Samuel, you're a genius. Okay. Alright, so we have the roast beef and the carrots, onions, and potatoes. Okay. The next thing I need to do is make my broth or the gravy, and this is beef broth. That's the liquid that I took out of the crock pot when we had this for dinner the other night. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to heat this up in a pan, and I'm going to add some cornstarch and maybe a little bit of water to thicken it up a little bit. Okay, that looks like about 2 cups of beef broth, and there's some fragments of the pot roast and vegetables in there. So I think to have like an adequate amount of sauce / gravy, I'm going to end up going with milk, and then I'll go with about a cup
and a half, maybe?
About a cup and a half of milk. And then we'll add some cornstarch, and we'll do about 3 tablespoons. So 1, 2, 3. It's not rocket science. You don't have to measure anything exact. So about 3 tablespoons of that. And I'm going to heat that up, and when that starts to warm up, I'm going to take my zip stick here, and I'm going to blend that up and chop that up and make that into a nice thick gravy. So let's get that heated up. Now everything's starting to warm up, so I'm going to use my zip stick. This is the best tool for making gravy. So I've already got the cornstarch in there. So I'll zip this up, and it'll just emulsify everything. Okay, now that it's coming to more of a rolling boil and it's thickening up, I'll turn the heat off, and we have a nice gravy consistency. I'll take some pepper and add a little bit of pepper. We all like pepper in this house. And mix that in. And then what we'll do next is we'll bring this mixture over here, we'll add that to it. And then I'll mix that all together. The gravy with the pot roast and the carrots and potatoes and onions, and there's some garlic in there, roasted garlic. Get that all mixed up. Alright, now that that's all mixed up, you can take a look at that. The next thing we need to do is get a set of pie crusts. So these are so delicious. First we'll take one of these out. I like to use a glass pie pan, and I'll tell you why. After you're done cooking it, you can lift it up and look at the bottom and see if the pot pie is cooked and if the crust is done, because it's really horrible when you cook it out and you take it out and you bite into it and it's not cooked all the way. So if you're not using a glass pie dish, you're gonna see that. I'll show you when I'm done how nice it is to have that. So we'll just line this here, line that up, and then we'll take and throw this in there. Looks like it's going to end up being perfect. And then we'll cut this other.
Yeah, perfect size. Another one to put on top.
And then I just like to bunch it in and push it all around the edges.
So around the edges.
I want to do a shout out to my chief cameraman right here, Iron Chef Samuel, who's sneaking bites of popcorn in the background. Hi, Iron Chef Samuel. Go ahead and take it. All right, I'll keep going here with this.
Can I see our Legos in the background?
Yep. All right, I'm going to do a couple more steps here. First, I'm going to do a light egg wash. And we'll get this yolk out of the way. Okay, so we'll take this and we'll just pour it right over that.
Just a little bit, not too much.
Quick little egg wash. And that'll give it a nice golden brown appearance. That is all evenly distributed, even on the edge. And then my secret ingredient is beef bouillon cube. If I was making a chicken bouillon, a chicken pot pie, I'd use a chicken bouillon cube. But since we're doing a beef pot pie, I'm gonna dice this up real quick, and then we're gonna sprinkle that on top to give it a little beef bouillon flavor. Just smash that down. That's pretty good. We'll just use about half of that, and then I'll come over here and lightly sprinkle that over the top of the... Okay. And then I'll take a knife and I will vent this so all the steam can come out. Alright, now we just have to bake it at 425 for 45 minutes, and this is another really big deal here. This is a pie crust shield, and you just place that right over it, and then the direct heat doesn't overcook your crust, so that way it's nice and chewy. So I'll open up the oven. Set that in there. See you in 45 minutes. 45 minutes is up. Let's check out what we've got. Oh, look at that.
Yum yum.
Nice beef hot pie. So what I want to show you now is the benefit of using the pie crust ring. See, the crust is not burnt at all. It's perfect. And then I want you to see why I use a glass pan next. This is a really big deal for me because you can look underneath it
super easily.
and you can see if the pot pie is done or not. If the crust is not done, you'll see that. But it's got a nice golden brown hue to it, so you can see that it's cooked thoroughly. So now I'll just set that aside and let that cool down for a little bit. And then when it's cooled down, we'll dig into it and have our yummy dinner. All right, now the beef pot pie has been cooling for about 15 or 20 minutes, so now I'm gonna slice into it. And we'll get a little pie scooper here.
Yep.
There's our beef pot pie. Some extra on there. And we'll do a couple more slices here.
Yummy nums.
Does that look good, Samuel?
Looks delicious. It's time for beef pot pie. Super good. This is so good.
Here goes. Best way to have leftover pot roast. This is so awesome. I highly recommend it.
Yeah.
Bon appetit. Thanks for watching.
Far over the misty mountains go